that, you know, left us, but in a sense we thought, well, we should make a movie. I mean, we had made, and this is silly justification, I think, for most bands, but we had made a lot of music videos, and I directed quite a few. And Brad Beasley, the guy who helped make the film, and his crew, I don't know, we didn't make every one of the videos together, but most of the videos we made together, and we would say, you know, we should make a movie, you know, thinking in my mind, it's really kind of like making 50 kind of music videos, only you just wear the same clothes and talk in them or something, you know, justifying it as though, you know, we've done this a bunch, why don't we do this other thing that we dreamed of? And so, you know, I thought, well, we've always wanted to make a movie, we should make a movie. That was enough, and we were off.
And you're off.
Yeah.
So what about the ideas? I mean, you got this sense of desperation and isolation going on, and then this hope, you know, and this hope through magic. So where did that come from? Where did that initial spark?
Well, I mean, you know, when I see the movie now, and we sat up there and we thought, we've seen this thing, you know, 50 times by now. There's no reason to watch it again. It comes on and you get caught up in it, and you know, as silly as that sounds, I don't think in the beginning I could have said that I knew these themes were even going to work or even be in it. I mean, there was an element of it just being kind of an absurd excuse, you know,
to make a film.
Yeah, and the idea that, you know, we can make a film about Christmas and outer space seemed, not many other bands or anybody probably would want to do that. I don't know. But it, you know, it's a combination, I think, you know, to tell the absolute truth about where, you know, the inertia of your art comes from. You know, I think it's probably a mystery to everybody in a way. I mean, I point to a bunch of different reasons. There was my mother claimed that she never slept, and we would oftentimes come in late at night and find her sitting on the couch, you know, waking up when we came in, but she would be in front of the TV watching, you know, some old movie. You have to remember, I was born in 1961, so, you know, I have older brothers taking drugs, listening to music. This is all through the 70s. My mother would be watching whatever late night TV was on in Oklahoma City then. Usually it was just showing, like, you know, old movies, some good, some bad or whatever, but a lot of older movies or whatever. We came in late one night and she was sobbing. And we said, well, Mother, you know, what's going on? What are you doing? She said she was talking about this movie that she saw, and it really affected her. And I said, well, what was this? It's going to be great. What is this movie? And she had a vague idea of what it was about. You know, sort of in this half-sleep state. You know, she talked about it being, she didn't know if it was like a submarine or a ship or some outpost somewhere. But there were these workers, you know, and she related to that because really within my own family, my dad was like a blue-collar worker. He worked in warehouses and stuff. My brothers, and we all worked with him. You know, she said that some catastrophe, some technical catastrophe goes wrong in this place wherever they're at, and they face this kind of certain death. And as far as what she could tell us from the movie, once they accepted that they were going to die, they were visited by some magical entity. And I mean, even back then she said, I don't know if it was something from outer space or God or whatever. I mean, she didn't believe in God, but in speaking about the movie, what was this thing? And she said once they accepted they were going to die, they were kind of made happy by satisfied with their lives and all this stuff. But it was all very vague, and you know, you have to think this is probably 1975 or something, and back then you couldn't just, you know, find a movie on the internet, or there wasn't even video stores then, you know. And I think in my mind I thought, you know, I'm going to see that movie one day. That sounds like a great movie. Even though my mother told this vague story, but it was a powerful moment. Well, you know, you throw that in the back of your mind. You think, okay, well, someday we'll see that. But unfortunately, you know, your mind doesn't just sit there. It builds on it and fills in all the crevices and all the things you don't know. And as the years went by, I kept thinking, subconsciously, I'm looking for this film. I don't really care that much, but it had become a curiosity. little by little, with all my searching, and then eventually with video stores and with cable TV and everything that goes on now with the internet, I finally just, came to the conclusion that my mother, she probably sat on the couch, would turn on TV, and there was a movie going. She probably fell asleep, and woke up, and someone had changed the channel or something to another movie. She saw the middle of another movie, probably fell asleep again. Dreamed part of it, and then woke up, and there was another movie on.
And the whole thing turned into a movie?
It did, and it's probably, telling us something about her imagination. But I had so much invested in someday seeing this movie. I built the whole thing up. I mean, I was thinking, well, whatever it's going to be, I'm probably wrong, but your mind can't help but fill it all in. And I think the moment I kind of realized that this movie didn't really exist, I kind of thought, oh my God, now I've thought about what this movie should be for so long. I guess I'll just make it. And then you have a lot of reasons why you're compelled to do stuff. But I do believe at the base of all this sort of ridiculous art. I mean, I'm not really making it to make any money. There's no star in it that has a chance of any kind of bigger reaction out there in the world. You just make it from your own silly obsessions. And for me, that's a great relief. To know that you can sort of follow along on these things. And I was lucky that the band and the crew and Dave Friedman and everybody involved in it kind of let me lead this entourage up this ridiculous mountain, not knowing if the top of it was going to be just a volcano or what, But I think, they wanted that. Whatever we were going to make, I think they felt like if they let me do these things that I was compelled to do, we would have if anything, it'd be a strange, unique movie. And at best, maybe it would be a really nice other element that the Flaming Lips could be, say, hey, that's another piece of our philosophy, our story, and it's about us.
So